What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you all are doing amazing and that you're staying safe and staying sane at the same time. Gosh, I am besides myself with excitement because of today's video. I am super excited about it. I'm 100% sure that you guys are going to really enjoy this video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you about how I met Caroline Mutoko, who is a once in a lifetime kind of person. You know, those people you meet once in your life and they change your life forever. So I'm super excited that I got to meet her, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the lessons I learned from her and things that you should definitely take up and bring onto your life, because your life will never be the same again. So I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video, so please stay tuned for more of this. In the vortex of creativity and breaking barriers. She lives for the challenge of doing what many like to say can't be done in life, love, and work. The ability to push boundaries, establish a new normal, and make it work is something she loves to do, and she does it so well. Don't we agree? Yes. She's a philanthropist who believes in sustainability and focuses her efforts in the areas of education for all children and empowering women. She claims SDG 5, gender equality, as her very own. As she spreads her wings beyond her native Kenya and East Africa, Caroline Mutoko seeks to be the voice that tells the African narrative on the global stage, and also the person you can call upon when you're seeking a contact on the continent. Caroline is a One Young World Ambassador, an international panelist and moderator for the United Nations and other leading world forums in East Africa, New York, Moscow, and London. Born in Nairobi, Caroline Mutoko has lived her life out loud, quite literally, on radio and now on digital media. In Kenya and East Africa, she's a well-known media proprietor, sought-after keynote speaker, panelist, and moderator. She's also a budding entrepreneur. She believes that relying on your best strengths yields tremendous outcomes, and has re-engineered her life by asking herself, if my life was a book, how would I want this story to end? I think she deserves a standing ovation as she comes to stage.
So I want to talk about three things, and they are all in one. It's change in a way you've never imagined it. It's legends, because there are none in this country, and where you fall into that place. When I was doing appraisals for my direct reports earlier this year, I told them, if this year ends the way it has started for you, you have failed, I'll fire you next year. And I want to say the same thing to all of you. Because here's the truth. This year will not end the same way for anyone. Something is in the air. And sometimes I believe cosmically, and because time does require it, change happens. And
Guys, I think I'm going to be starting with a brief background story about this. So since I was younger, I think since I was in primary school, upper primary school, I knew the kind of life I wanted to live. I knew that I wanted to use my voice. I knew I wanted to use me as a person to become the change I want to see in the world. And for the longest time, the quote by Mahatma Gandhi, "Be the change you want to see in the world," was my mantra. And this is because I would see people at how they're living out their lives, the kind of things they're doing, and I would think, oh my goodness, I want to be that person. I want to be that kind of person, you know? And I think for me, one of my role models since I was way younger was Caroline Mutoko. The way she would speak when I would listen to her on radio, the way she would carry herself, I have always watched her videos and thought, oh my goodness, this is the kind of woman I want to be. And I kept telling even my close friends and my family, my mom, the way one day I'm going to meet her, and not just meet her, but I'm going to be able to share a stage with her, because I'm the kind of person who believes that I live my life without limits. I believe that I can go for anything that I want to go for. I believe I have what it takes to be able to live the kind of life that I want to live. So I remember just saying and just telling God, you know what, this is the kind of woman I want to become. The way she just carries herself, the way she has so much respect for herself, she has so much respect for her hustle and for her work, and pretty much the kind of person that she is, both, you know, like the person that we see on social media. So yeah, background story. So in 2018, 2018, when I started my YouTube channel, that's around 4 years ago, I started it. My intention was to start it to become a show, because sorry, because I always wanted to become a show host, and I figured getting onto TV is not the easiest, it's quite not the easiest thing to do. So why not use YouTube to be able to give me that stage, or rather that platform, that I can be able to grow my name. So what does Sharon Ngugi do? What does Sharon Ngugi do? One day I was at the Lion Place, and I decided, you know what, let me go and find her office and try and speak to her, because I'd love it if she can become a guest on my show. So I went, I got by grace. I was actually going for a meeting inside Radio Africa, and by God's grace, I was able to speak to her. She gave me her card, and I told her, you know what, I will shoot you an email right after this, and let's pick up the conversation. So I sent her an email, and I told her, you know what, I'd really love it if you can come to my YouTube channel, because I usually host people who are doing great things in this society, just to be able to tell their story and to, you know, to inspire people out there. And at that time, she told me that she doesn't do interviews. Interviews were not like one of the things she does. And of course, I felt bad. I felt really bad, because I was like, it would have been so good if I had you on my channel. It would have been so good if I was able to you know, just speak to you, engage with you, pick your mind. But she told me one thing that really inspired me. She said, the world is your oyster. Go forth and prosper. And pretty much what the world is your oyster means is, this world is full of endless possibilities. Like, there's so many things and so many people that you can get to speak to in this world. Never constrain yourself to one person or to one kind of life. So fine, moving on swiftly. This year, this year I am currently working for a company called Nairobi Garage, and it's amazing. It's a hub. It's a co-working, Africa's biggest and coolest co-working space, and it's not just a co-working space. The thing about that is we bring it's like a hub for businesses to be able to grow, network, connect with people, and just meet people who will enable you to take your business to the next level. So every month we usually have an event called After Office Hours, and this is where we invite movers and shakers to come and speak about their business story, how they've managed to grow their businesses, how they managed to grow their brands, and pretty much how they've built the kind of life that they've built so far. And I figured, why not ask Miss Caroline Mutoko to come onto my show? Sent her an email, and guess what? That thing happened. So before I even start telling you guys about that talk, I just want to remind you that any limit you have in your mind, it's been placed there by yourself. So you need to live your life with no limits. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to be able to go after the things that set your soul on fire, and be relentless about those. As long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not getting into anyone's space, as long as, there's so much sunshine for everyone. Like, everyone can be able to shine, and you don't have to dull anyone else's sparkle to be able to light your own. So guys, yes, that's a background story. I've gotten a couple of people asking me, how did you manage to get her? So that's how I managed to get her. And I'm telling you, that talk was like my life. I promise you, my life will never be the same again. And I'm so sure so many women who attended that talk share the same sentiments with me. So today I'm going to just summarize. I've actually written down the points on my notebook, because I believe that they're so packed that I need to be able to just go one by one and to share with you exactly what she shared with us. Because you guys, I promise you, like, it was amazing. It was really amazing. So I've actually gotten around 8 points, and I'm going to go one by one, and I'm just going to highlight what she said and exactly what I learned from that, and how you can apply that into your life. So pretty much, let me also say something. 2022 will never, like, the way 2022 started will not end the same for anyone in this country and in this world. Most especially in this country. One, because it's an election year. So it means on August 9th, the story of Kenya will change and take a certain direction. Because one will get a different leader, will get different leaders, and pretty much the way you started your 2022 is not how you will finish it. So it means that one of the things that we all know is that change is inevitable. So it's important for you to change with the times. Don't wait there and then you're just shocked by change, and it destabilizes you. So one thing that she said was disrupt yourself. Disrupt yourself before you're disrupted by change. That means we already know that 2022 will not end the same way it started, right? So that means as a person, you need to already be thinking about ways in which you can disrupt yourself before all the change that is going to happen in your environment disrupts you. This is in your business. This is in your career, this is in your family life, this is in your relationships. How are you going to ensure that you're a proactive person? Like, you've already seen that, you know what, this year will not be the same, it will not end the same. So what am I going to do as a person to be able to ensure that I am on the right side of change? Like, this means, if, for example, you know, I spoke about the atomic habits in my recent video, and it says building habits that will be able to shape the kind of future that you want. You know, if you want to be a good public speaker, what are you doing to be able to improve your diction, to be able to improve your confidence, to be able to improve, you know, your grammar? You know, there's small things that you do so that even when you go onto a stage, you have content to speak, you have things to say. So it's very important to know the kind of future you have, rather the kind of future you want to live, and work backwards. And even as she was speaking, she said something very important. She said, you know, like, as a young person, for example, time is all you have. Ideally, it's all you have, and it's also not all you have, because nobody knows how long you have on this earth to be able to make a difference. And as a young person, you have the whole runway, you know. Like, you see, when it's a plane is about to take off, it's given the whole runway to be able to run with it, right? But the problem is, so many of us have this runway, but we lack vision. So we have so many possibilities, so many opportunities right in front of us, but we have no vision. We don't know where we want to go. We don't know how we're going to manage to get there. We're just living our life one day at a time. Please don't get me wrong. Living your life one day at a time is not the problem. But the problem is, if you do not know where you're going, you're just like you're just like a person who's just wandering, you know, on earth, so aimlessly, with no focus. So you have this whole runway. It's up to you to be able to get the vision, so that even as you're taking off, you know the kind of direction you're going to. So remember to disrupt yourself before you are disrupted, and stop waiting for change to happen to you. You know, that's what being proactive is. You anticipate. You anticipate that this thing will happen. For example, if it's at your workplace, and you know that appraisals are about to happen, and there's this particular role you've been aiming for, you know that they're about to hire for that role. What are you doing to be able to ensure that you're preparing yourself before that point gets there? You know, like, for example, there's a CEO position that you've been really aiming at your company. Ask yourself, what does a CEO of your company look like? What are some of the qualities they look for? What are some of the soft skills they look for? What are some of the competencies? What competencies are they looking for? Then do a SWOT analysis over your life. Understand, am I in a position where I can actually be able to achieve this, or am I just daydreaming? And what can I do if I am here? What can I do to be able to get myself to this point? You know, am I actively building the kind of habits I need to become a CEO? Am I actively building the kind of speech, the kind of, you know, what are you doing to be able to live the kind of life that you want to live? That's what disrupting yourself before you're disrupted is all about. You know, like, and you know, so many of us in this country, unfortunately, we're always complaining about this economy is tough. Life is so hard here. There are no jobs here. But when someone asks you, what are you doing to be able to, for example, earn extra, so that even if the economy is tough, you're able to still survive and live the kind of life that you want to live? And most of us will just sit in our houses and complain about this, but we're not doing much to be able to change our stories. So you need to be that difference. You need to be that kind of person who realizes, okay, fine, there's a problem here in my career, or rather in my skill set, and I need to fix this if I'm going to get to this point in my life, right? The second thing is, the past is a great teacher, but a terrible master. First of all, I'm just here to acknowledge that every single person who's watching this video and anyone in this world has a past. Like, the fact that you're here, it means you have a past. And you see, the past is a great teacher. You know, we've been told when you were younger and we were growing up, experience is the best teacher. But I think one thing I've learned is sometimes you don't have to experience it yourself for you to be able to learn. You can learn from other people's experiences, and that's why such videos are important. That's why self-help books are important, because you get to learn from other people's experiences and to avoid having to pass through what they passed through, so as to get to wherever you want to go. So, for example, you've gone through so many things in your past. You really hate your past because, you know, like, you really went through the most, and that's great because it taught you, you know, the things that you should and shouldn't do, so that you can live the kind of life you want to live. For example, I'm sorry to use this example, but for example, if you are a recovering alcoholic, it means you know what alcohol can do to you. You know the struggles you've gone through using alcohol. You know what it has done for your family. You know what it has done for your career. But you cannot sit at that same place and wallow in misery for the rest of your life because you were once an alcoholic. You need to learn, fine, alcohol is not for me, because when I take alcohol, this and this and this and this and this happens. So how am I going to ensure that moving forward I will not be a slave to alcohol? You know, you learn your lessons and you keep moving with those lessons. You carry the things that are good for you and you leave the things that are not good for you. And that's why you're told, even as you're being given advice in life, you'll get so many words of wisdom from different people as they share their experiences and as they share the knowledge that they have with you. But it's important to always have a sieve. You sieve, take what's important to you and throw out the rest, because every person's story is different, every person's circumstances are different, and the way I achieved my purpose is not the same way you'll do that. We could have almost similar purposes, but the way I achieve mine is so different from how you'll achieve yours. So take a sieve, like everything with a pinch of salt. Take what is important to you and leave the rest, throw out the rest. So always remember, in as much as you had it rough in your past, that will not always be your story. Like you need to as we say it, as millennials call it, you need to manifest the kind of life that you want to live. You need to proclaim it, you need to constantly speak it, you need to constantly have it in your mind. If it's about writing a vision board, if it's about writing it on your notes, if it's about writing it anywhere that will constantly remind you, at the top of your bed, on your side table, anywhere, like you need to have that vision so in your face that you have to work hard and get it. Like I remember once hearing her say, you need to be so hungry, get to a point where you're so hungry that it pushes you to go out and look for food. The third point is encourage courage. You know, the thing about us human beings, especially us young people, is that we're not encouraging courage in our lives. We let fear stop us, we let fear crumble us. We really just don't do so many things because we're like, oh my God, what will people say? How will they take me? Watasema na ringanga, watasema this and that. But you know what, the worst part is that many people are focused on their own lives. They don't even have time to focus on yours. So you're here saying that I will not do this and this because what will people say about me? I will not be so aggressive because people will think that I am too much. But the beauty of life is that everyone is so focused on their own lives. It's like you are such a miniature problem in anyone else's life. You know, the thing about minding your own business, like people are literally minding their own businesses and minding the businesses that pay them. So if you let what will people say deter you from living the kind of life you're living, you're the person that's losing. So encourage courage, do the things that be in fearless pursuit of the things that set your soul on fire. And I love this quote so much because it inspires me every day. And it always reminds me, you know what, I have to go out there and get the things that I am really looking towards getting. I need to go out there and live the kind of life that I am looking to live. You know, like I need to be so courageous and to have so much confidence that nothing can stop me, that I am enough, that I have everything it takes to be able to live the kind of life I've always wanted to live. And you need to always please keep in mind these many thoughts that you have about people. People are so focused on their own lives. People are so focused on living the kind of life that they want. They don't even have time to focus on you, sister. Like, go out there, encourage courage. Refuse to let fear stop you. Do you know fear stops so many, as in it's so sad that fear crumbles so many dreams even before they come to life. And there's one thing that really inspires me is the fact that in the Bible, we are told, I've had people say that God has reminded us more than 365 times in the Bible that we should not fear. And ask yourself, in a whole year, how many days? 365 days a year, right? So that means every single day you have a verse that can remind you, you know what, sweetheart, do not fear. Go out there and prosper. So please do not let fear deter you from living the kind of life you're looking to live. Encourage courage. Always encourage courage. The fourth thing is embrace failure, fail fast, and fail forward. I remember there was a place I used to work at and we were always told about failing forward. Failing forward means you fail with the future in mind. You know, like I've failed, let's say for example, I failed in a business that I wanted to do. I need to be able to research very fast and find a way to be able to make that work. Like you cannot fail and stay in failure. As in I fell down, I'm going to stay here. That's my story. Like me, I'm just a failure. Unajua mimi na failing too. No, that's not what you were made to do in this life. You need to fail, embrace failure, because failure, one thing I love is it's never a failure, always a lesson. You know, imagine when you fail at a business, it's shown you another way in which, you should never go because that will not work, right? It's given you more experience and it's given you more mileage in terms of even becoming more successful next time. So always, even if you fail in something, remember that that's not the end goal, that's not who you are, and that's not where you will stay. Fail fast and think, okay, fine, I am here in this position, but I need to keep it moving. What can I do to be able to remove myself from this situation, to be able to still go after the thing that I am really looking forward to achieving, and to not stop until I am able to get there. The fifth thing is deeply root yourself in a place where you can excel. This, honestly, I think amongst all of the things that she spoke about, this is the thing that really ministered to my heart. And I'm here to tell you, sometimes you have to fail smartly, you know? Don't fail foolishly. Like, for example, you have tried different things. You have tried different businesses. For example, even for the people who are at social media, maybe you have tried being an Instagram influencer, it's not working. But on Twitter, you're really succeeding. Why not spend more time on Twitter as opposed to wasting your energy on Instagram where people are not receiving you as you would like? And this also reminds me of the 80-20 principle, which is a book I'm currently reading, where they speak about 80% of output is usually achieved from 20% of work. So in your business, in anything that you're doing, always remember that there's that 20% of work that you're putting in that will enable you to be able to get 80% of the results you're looking for. So even as you're in life, as you're setting, as you're writing your vision board and the kind of life you want to live, it's very important to go where you excel and to put more energy in the things that you're excelling at, right? So do not waste so much time trying to do something because you think that this is what is working for everyone else and it's not working for you. Like, for example, you've understood like your strength is speaking. Like for me, one of my strengths is public speaking. So what am I doing in my public speaking area to be able to become the best at it? And let's say my weakness is, for example, drawing. Why would I spend so much time in improving my drawing skills, yet my public speaking is what is going to enable me to get my 80% of results? Do you understand? So in your career, it's very, very paramount for you to realize the place in which you have a strength. Like, what is your strength in your career? As a marketer, for example, marketing has so many facets. There's social media marketing, content marketing, video marketing, writing, email marketing. So for example, if I've realized that my strength is in content marketing, how am I ensuring that I am so good in it, that I am the best in that content marketing field, that it will open doors for me in very many other areas of my life? So you go where you excel and you do so well in that particular area that you cannot be ignored by anyone. Like for her, she realized that her speaking, and that's her strength, and she's grown so much in that area that it's opened doors for her worldwide. The sixth thing is do the opposite and go to the road that is less traveled. Like, the thing about us Kenyans especially is we always want to go to the road that has everyone. Like, for example, a few years ago, we had the quail farming scandal, right? And once some people came out and said, you know what, we've made so much money using quail farming, everyone in Kenya went that direction. Everyone bought quails. Everyone was trying to become a quail farmer because we have been told, you know what, there's so much money here. But you realize that when you go to a place that's so crowded, it's not easy for you to set yourself apart. Why not decide, okay, fine, if the whole world is going this direction, I will go this direction because that way I'll be able to shine in that particular direction. So that's why you should go to the road that is less travel. You should go to the road that is less travel because that way there's less friction. There's less wastage of time, and it's easier for you to shine in that particular area. So look at yourself, do a SWOT analysis of your life, in your career, in your business, and understand, okay, fine, which is that road that many people are going. You see, once you've established that road, go to the right opposite. When people are going this direction, go to this other direction because you have a higher chance of winning in that direction as opposed to this one where everyone is trying to scramble for. The seventh thing is money does not disappear, it goes somewhere else. So yeah, that's the rules of money and the rules of life. Like, you need to be able to plan out your finances in a way that you direct your money where you want it to go. Like, that's why I've had many coaches, financial coaches, saying that money does not the purpose of having a budget is to be able to direct your money where it will go, as opposed to waiting for the end of the month and asking yourself, where did my money go? What did this? I remember watching a few years ago, I watched a video by Caroline Mutoko. It's called Where Did My Money Go? And in this video, she was speaking to young ladies and telling them the importance of quality versus quantity. So many of us, when you open our wardrobes, we have millions of clothes. And these clothes, maybe you wear 10% of those clothes. The rest are just wasting your closet space. They're wasting your time, because every single morning you have to ask yourself, what will I wear today? What watch will I wear today? What earrings will I wear today? It's important to have quality versus quantity, and this is why we are also being encouraged to have a minimalistic kind of life, because this simplifies our life. It reduces decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is, literally getting so tired of making decisions, and it's this minimal decisions that don't even change your life. Like, for example, what will we eat today? That's why you need to have a menu. What will I wear today? That's why you need to plan ahead before. You need to plan before. So it's very important to know where your money goes, so that you can be able to craft your vision and your ambitions in line with that. So have a budget. Decide where you're going to invest your money. Like, be all about your money, because the reason why you're working so hard out here, the reason why you're burning the midnight oil, is to be able to live the kind of life that you want to live. So if you're not careful with deciding where that money will go after working so hard, you'll have been wasting so much energy and so much time doing something that's not making your life any better. And finally, reject limits. Sisters, brothers, I am just here. If you forget anything I have said, as most pastors like to say, if you forget anything I've said, remember, reject limits. Because the sad reality about life is all these limits we have are usually over here. They're in our mind. Like, there's no place where it's been written that Sharon Ngugi cannot become the next president of Kenya, or Sharon Ngugi cannot become the first African woman to do this and that. There's nowhere that's written that. And you see these people who achieve this kind of things, it's because they sat down and they decided, this is the kind of life I want to live, and I will not stop at anything until I am able to achieve that. So you need to live your life as if there are no limits. And remember, only the limits that are crippling you and the limits that are making you become so small in your life are only here. And remember, nobody is out here thinking about ways in which they can destroy you. As in, like, literally everyone is all about themselves. Everyone is really trying to make their life better. Everyone is really working hard to be able to live the kind of life they've always wanted. So if you feel like there are certain limits that are stopping you from living the kind of life you want, always remember that those are limits that you have set for yourself. So you need to get out of that cocoon. You need to get out of your comfort zone. Go out there and live the kind of life you've always wanted to live, because this world is waiting for you. And the sad part is, if you do not raise up to be able to accomplish that purpose that God has put in your heart, sadly, God will raise someone else, and you're the one who will end up losing. So you need to style up, you need to believe in yourself, you need to go out there, you need to reject limits, you need to disrupt yourself before you're disrupted. Because as I said when we were starting, this year will not end the same way it started. So you need to remember, even as a person, how are you ensuring that you're ready for change? How are you ensuring that you're changing with the times and becoming a better person every single day? It's very important, because you need to remember there's 7 billion plus people in this world. How will you set yourself apart from everyone else, so as to be able to thrive and so as to be able to succeed? So yeah, that was, as I said, Caroline Mutoko is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of person. When you meet her, your life is never the same again. So I really hope that these lessons, these nuggets of wisdom that I've shared will inspire you. And I'm definitely hoping that you've enjoyed the snippets and the B-roll that I've put inside the video. And the purpose is to keep getting better, because why not? We cannot be the same people we were last year. We need to keep changing and keep growing and evolving. So thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun filming it. I really hope that you'll enjoy watching it. I really hope that you'll share it with your family, share it with your friends. And in case you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Guys, we have really grown, and I appreciate you for being here so far. It's been 4 years of bliss and 4 years of learning. I have learned so much through this channel, and I'm hoping you have too. So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, I'm just here to tell you that it's absolutely free to subscribe. This button down below here, if it's red, it means you have not yet subscribed. Please hit it so that it turns gray. Turn on notifications so that you're notified every single time I upload a new video. And thank you so much for thank you so much for supporting Sharon Ngugi's channel. I value you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you're able to live unapologetically, live your best life, live, love, and laugh. Until next time, goodbye.